Good morning. Happy Friday, friends. Okay, so you can see my eyes look a little crazy right now. And we're gonna be doing some under eyes. I'm really excited to do this because this is probably my number one question in my DMs is how do I fix my under eyes? So if you're new here, my name is Lauren. I am 43 years old. I love helping women learn to love their makeup again as we age by simple makeup techniques. So, hi Ash. Ash is my daughter. She should be in class right now. I don't know why you're on my live. Anyways, okay, you guys, if you've been a part of my page, look at my under eyes. I made them like this on purpose because we are gonna do all things under eyes. This is like one of my highly requested videos. So, hello from Rhode Island. Hello from Idaho. Hope your weather is better than ours. So I'm gonna be using a couple of things. So if you are new here, let's talk really quick. If you're new here, this is my one compact makeup. Everything inside is for my entire face. We're not gonna do that today because I already have my makeup on. I obviously made my under eyes look really crazy, but I have nothing on my under eyes. So everything else is good. Hi Lana, I thought you were supposed to be at the school too. Anyways, but we're gonna be doing this right here. This is from Saint. These are color correctors. If you don't own a color corrector and you have dark under eyes, you have blemishes, things like that, you're gonna want to look into this. Okay, oh my goodness, there are people from all over. Hello. Netherlands, Germany, Amsterdam, New Mexico, hello. I'm in Idaho, so hello from Idaho. All right, so let's get started. If at any time you want to try one compact makeup, I do free color matches. I customize a palette for you. These are all customizable. The tins pop in and out, so they're magnetic, and you can change it out for whatever color you want. And I do free color matches to help you find your perfect shades. So when I post this, all you have to do is comment match, and I will then be able to send you my form, and you can fill it out, and I work one-on-one with you, which is really cool. So that is just my little spiel. We do have a big sale coming up. It will be on March 17th. So if you haven't got color matched this palette, you're gonna wanna do it because you're gonna be able to get a free gift with purchase. It's gonna be really fun. So more details on that later. Hello, I'm so jealous that it's sunny and warm. It is cold and blizzarding. No, it's not blizzarding today, but we have a lot of snow here in Idaho. Okay, so let's talk eye bags, okay? Let's talk tear troughs. Let's talk dark under eyes, okay? And if you have any questions throughout the live, please just let me know. You can type it in the chat box. Don't comment match yet because when I post this, all of these comments disappear, so I won't be able to find you. So make sure you comment match when I post this or if you're catching the replay. Okay, so I'm gonna get really close here. One of the biggest things that happen as we age is we get a little bit more of a hollowing there under the eye around the tear trough, okay? What happens with that is we can either get a kind of like a thinner under eye, our under eyes get thinner, or some of us develop a bag, okay? And what happens is that's just puffy skin. That's normal too. So I'm gonna show you on this eye how I would correct a tear trough or a bag. And I'm gonna show you on this eye, if you just have darkness kind of all over, that's what we're gonna correct there, okay? So I'm using a brush. This is called the Spot Brush. It's from Saint. That's all the makeup I'm using is from Saint. This is a fluffy side, and then on the other side, it has like this pencil tip. You honestly, if you wanted to, could go to, a paint supply store, like Hobby Lobby, grab a little paintbrush. You're gonna want something really small because you're not gonna wanna put product all over your under eyes, especially if you're older because it's going to look textured, okay? We don't want textured under eyes, we don't want creasing under eyes, so the less you use, the better, and that's why we're gonna color correct instead of just putting concealer all under the eye, okay? So the first thing you wanna determine, and this is what I do in my color matches, is I actually help you by looking at your under eyes, or if you have like melasma, whatever, I help color correct. But we're gonna look at the color under the eye, and then we're gonna decide what is the opposite on the color wheel so that then we can correct it. If you can get rid of the shadowing, you need less concealer. So, do you know if the UK stocks Saint makeup? We will be there this year. We have not got there yet, but we will be there launching in the UK this year. So if you're not on my email opt-in list, message me and I'll send it to you. And then as soon as we launch, I will send you an email, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm looking at this and it looks very blue, almost like a bluish purple. So I'm gonna go in, we're gonna try, and sometimes with color correcting, you just have to play around. You don't know what's actually gonna work. So I'm gonna go in with this orange color right here, okay? Orange is opposite blue on the color wheel. So I'm just gonna take a tiny bit. This is called Demi. It's very, very pigmented. A little's gonna go a really long way. You guys, if you are sending me your emails or anything, it's gonna go away. So make sure you message me, okay? Hello, hello. Okay, so I'm just gonna go, see the discoloration right here? We're gonna go and just place this color corrector. A lot of us have darkness on the inner corner. You don't wanna miss that. But I'm gonna start by just placing this orange color corrector onto the discoloration. Okay, so just like this, and I'm only gonna place a little bit only where there's discoloration. Can you see how that's already starting to take that color away? It's crazy. And I'm hardly using any on my brush, okay? These little demi squares that I have in my palette, these are gonna last you for like a year. It's crazy how long they last. Okay, so I'm just following the line. That's why we're using a really small brush, because we wanna make sure we are just color correcting that one area. You are so welcome. Okay. Look how that just already took so much of that color away. We haven't even used concealer. Crazy. Now, if you have a bag, the bag is protruding forward. It looks like it's very puffy, right? So in order to kind of recede that, we wanna use a darker color on the bag. So if you have a bag, this is not if you're hollow. If you have a bag, I want you to use a darker color, which can be your foundation color, above where the discoloration is or right on the bag. So I'm just gonna show you that, and I'm gonna show you how much product you need if you're using cream, okay? So this is just a little bit of product, and I'm just gonna go like this. A tiny bit. I'm not using a lot. It will not sit in fine lines under your eyes because you're not placing too much product. I'm barely using any product. This is not much at all, okay? If you've ever seen people that are younger that go in with a lot of concealer, they can do that. But if you have fine lines and wrinkles, you don't wanna use a lot of product. This is hardly any at all, and you're gonna see when I blend it out, it's not bad. Okay, so you can still see I have some discoloration there, so I'm just gonna go in with a tiny bit. The thing with creams too, and this is why I suggest you use creams as you get older, is that they're very pigmented, but they also act like a second layer of skin, so they don't sit like concealer does. If you're using like a normal liquid concealer, it's gonna sit in your fine lines and wrinkles. Trust me, I've used them all, and they do. Creams do not do that. So just so you know, creams are gonna be very skin-like, and you can just see, like, as I'm putting it on there, it's just disappearing. It's melting into the skin. It's not going to accentuate anything. How do you order this? You can order it through me. All you have to do is message me, or when I post this, just say match, and I'll send you my color match form. You guys are all sending me your emails. Don't do that, I'll miss it. I don't wanna miss your emails. Okay, so now we've got, if you have a bag, you're putting the dark color on, and we're gonna go in with a light color, okay? When you say a light concealer, if you are mature skin, do not use a really light color. If you use a really light color, all light does is bring forward. So if you don't wanna see your fine lines and wrinkles, don't do that, okay? You actually wanna go underneath where the bag or the hollow is with a light color. And I'm only using about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my main color. So I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit. I hope you guys can see, I'm not using much at all. Just like that, that's it, okay? Then, hi Sally, then we're just going to blend it out. So I'm just taking the same brush and blending it out. Actually, I'm gonna use the BK concealer brush just to show you, you can use any brush to blend this out. But remember how my discoloration looked, right? And I'm using that product and I'm just moving it all under the eye. So it's not like you're putting a ton of product on and I'm bringing it down the nose. Look how that just brightened that eye, got rid of all that discoloration I had, and gave me a more youthful looking eye. It's not sitting in fine lines and wrinkles. I'm getting really close so you can see. Okay? Creams, where it's at. If you are not using that with mature skin, I'm telling you, please do, because you'll be like, holy moly, it is a game changer. Okay, let's talk just darkness under the eye. Okay, if you have darkness under the eye, you're gonna have more discoloration. So it's the same thing. You're just gonna go in with a small brush. You're going to find a color opposite of the color wheel, okay, for your color corrector. This looks really brown to me. When I look in this especially inner corner, I see a little bit of blues here. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit lighter color. This one is 01. And I'm just gonna take a tiny bit and I'm gonna place it. And one thing that you'll notice is that if it's the right color, it will just disappear. Making sure I'm not missing your comments. And some of us need to use more than one color too. Like if I come down here, there's a lot of red. So I'm gonna go in, red oftentimes means purple or blue. So I'm just gonna come in with a little bit of a yellow color just to correct that area. So I'm just gonna work in small areas until I get it, the shadows kind of taken away. So I'm just gonna go in with that same 01 again, into that inner corner. That was even too much. You guys hardly need anything with Demi. And I'm just gonna work small. One thing that you see a lot of people do is they just throw a ton of concealer on in one big area, and then you've just got like a big mess because you're literally just putting so much product on that you're gonna have creasing, you're gonna have your fine lines and wrinkles, everything kind of popping out. But if you're just correcting in small areas, you're using less product and you're getting rid of the discoloration, because that's what most people see that they don't love, is that discoloration, okay? Look how that's already taking that away. Especially right here on this inner corner, that is where most women, as we age, we get really dark right there. Some of us aren't sleeping, I get that, and that is where it's gonna show. So really make sure you're getting right into that hollow, okay? I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just putting a tiny bit. I hope you guys can see. I'm not using much at all. And I'm just going right in. Now some of us have age spots under the eye. That one's gonna be like, most of the age spots are green, so using a pink color corrector can really help with that. But you can like just kind of, that's why I do color matches, is to help you guys, so it takes the guesswork. But look how that's just melting into the skin. I've never used a liquid color corrector or a liquid concealer that does this, okay? This is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is a really cool product. It's very wax-like, so just, you don't need much. Especially on this outer corner, this brightens everything. So if you have darkness there, you can put a little there. Okay, now I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna show you. You can use a different brush. And I'm just gonna tap that out. Look how that's just taking away the discoloration. It's crazy. Okay, now I haven't even used concealer. I have not even used concealer. That's what I love about this. So now we'll just go in, and now if you had darkness in the eye, you don't have a bag, you don't have a hollow, all you're gonna do is take your concealer one shade, 1 or 2 shades lighter, and you're just gonna place a little on the outer corner like that, and a little in the inner corner, okay? And then use your finger. If you're using creams warm to the skin, and they blend out really nicely if you use your finger. So I'm still going on to the under eye, but I'm not putting the product there. I'm not placing it where I would have my fine lines and wrinkles. I'm still moving the product under there, but I'm not putting a ton of product there, because that's where we hold a lot of our issues, right, as we age. Okay, so I can still see a little discoloration, so I'm just gonna go back in with just a tiny, tiny bit, and I still see a little purple. So I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of yellow to kind of counterbalance that right into, I'm trying to make it so you guys can see, right into where that shadow is. Like, I'm literally placing it on the discoloration. Can you guys see how I'm doing that? Hopefully. Sometimes lives are hard, but I want to get really close so you can see I'm not placing it anywhere but where the discoloration is. What do you guys think? We can do this, right? Hardly any product. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot of product on. I'm not though, because hardly anything's on my brush. Look how much more lifted and awake that eye looks. It's crazy. Okay, one more thing for your under eye. Hollows. See this hollow right here? I have really bad tear troughs. That's my issue. I don't have bags. Well, sometimes I do. But tear troughs are always my issue, okay? Thank you. Okay, let me show you what I'm gonna do with this tear trough, okay? So this is my tear trough. You can see it. A lot of us as we age, we do hollow, okay? And I wanted to show you how to do a bag, and I'm gonna show you a tear trough, okay? So with a tear trough, you're gonna go in, look at the discoloration once again. A tear trough, the reason it looks hollow is, one, we're losing that fat pad, but what happens is we get really discolored right there. So that darkness is going to make it look worse than it actually is. So if we color correct the darkness, like I said in the first place, you're going to see that it's gonna go. And I also wanna say, you can't get rid of everything, okay? Like sometimes you hear people make claims like makeup can erase all this stuff. Well, it can't. I mean, we're aging. Our skin has texture, our skin has things on it, but you can make it a little bit more brighter. You can make it look a little more lifted, and we can play and do tricks like that. But I'm just gonna trace that tear trough, okay? So if you have tear troughs or you've lost fullness, this trick's gonna be for you. So you take your color corrector into the tear trough just like that, okay? And I can still see the darkness, so I haven't quite got it all. I love this brush. It gives so much control. This is the spot brush. You can use it with any makeup. But like, did you just see like where my tear trough was and now it's gone? And I haven't even blended it. It's this, I'm telling you, Demi is phenomenal. It's my absolute favorite. Okay, if I really wanted to keep going with that, I would just blend this out. So I'm just gonna blend it out. And I'm just using a really light hand, okay? Because we don't want to take it away. And then what you can do, because we want to make it look more plump. Where did my makeup go? We want to make it look more plump. So we're going to put light there to push it forward and bring it forward. If you put darkness under that tear trough, it's going to hollow it. We don't want to do that. So all you do, here's my tear trough. Take a light color and trace on the outside of the tear trough. And then I'm going to wash my brush on my hand. You're just going to tap it around. There we go. Isn't it amazing? I love Demi. It's like my favorite thing in the world. But you guys, this hopefully helped you just a little bit. Like if you have dark circles, if you have discoloration, if you have hollows, tear troughs, any of those things, which all are normal. I want to say that they're all normal, and at any given day, like we can wake up and we can have another issue. So save this video when I post it. Make sure you try it. I used Demi colors. I used 01. Well, it depends on what area I was correcting. So on this area, when I did the bag, I did 03. And then I used, on the bag, I used Madrid, I'm sorry, why did I say that? Athens. Athens is my main color. And then I went underneath with white peach. On my hollow, I used 03. And then on just the side that had a lot of discoloration, I actually used Y01 and 03. No, and 01, I'm sorry. So I used two colors there. Sometimes we need two colors, and that's totally fine. That's normal. So do you guys have any questions for me? I want to make sure that I answer your under eye questions. If you can't get Demi or you can't get Saint where you are just yet, hopefully soon, go and look and find a color corrector that's very sheer. That's really important. You don't want to use something that's really heavy under the eye. If you are more mature skin, so if you're 40 and up, look for something that's more sheer, and then look at your discoloration. The hardest part about color correcting with your under eyes is that you see in the mirror, like for example, let's take a blemish, you see it as red, but really it's not red. So you've got to look at the undertone, which is usually blue on a blemish. So a lot of people will go green on a red blemish. That's not going to do anything. You honestly have to use a blue tone. So really look at yourself. Go study your under eyes, go study, and then you'll kind of know a little bit better. Let's see. Did you say 01? Yes, I did use 01. On brown colors though, it depends, because it could have a green undertone, which I would then give you more of a pink color corrector. That's why I always say, go get a color match from me so I can help you. Because even if it looks that way, one color doesn't just specifically work for just that area. Does that make sense? Color correcting took me a really long time to learn. Did I use a primer? On my face, yes. Today I used this Tarte one. I'm trying it out. It's the hydrating primer from Tarte. I hadn't used it, but I like it so far. I feel like it made my makeup feel really nice. Okay, do you guys have any other questions about your under eyes, problems you have? Hopefully I can help you if you do. But if you are not following me, make sure you go follow me. I give lots of easy tips that make your makeup easier to do. Because let's be honest, as we age, every day we wake up and something new has popped up, right? Like something new has happened. And so that's why I give you these easy tricks so that you love makeup again. Because a lot of times as we're aging, we don't want to wear makeup anymore because we don't know how to do it, or we're stuck wearing our makeup like we did, back in our 20s and 30s, and things just change a little bit. So that's what I'm here for. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. The tiny white spots that form on the under eyes. So you know, one thing I will say about undereyes that you have to be careful with is if you have a lot of texture under the undereyes, really using less product. Really using less product, because if you put too much product, especially if you have white spots under the eyes or if they're textured, if you put too light of concealer on, it's going to bring it forward. It's gonna make it look really textured. So I would probably just like color correct the best I could around that area, and then like when you saw me with my finger just kind of tap it out, I would still go on top, but I would not put a super light color on anything that has texture. So if you have a lot of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles, just be really careful. Don't go too light on the under eye. That's the best piece of information I could say, because too many of us are going really bright because we want these really bright under eyes, but it's just gonna bring texture out. We can't do that anymore. Where can you buy the products? You can buy them from me if you're in the US or Canada. Right now, we're not in the UK, but we will be in UK, Australia, and Mexico this year sometimes. There's not an official launch date yet. Is it a buildup of product? I'm not sure what you mean by that, so maybe tell me, give me a little bit more on that. It shouldn't be a buildup of product. You shouldn't have a lot of product under the under eyes at all. Like, it should be very light. I cringe when I watch like too many like older people and they're putting this heavy concealer. Like, it looks fine on camera, but then if you were to get really close to them, like, it's gonna be a lot of texture. So you just have to be really careful. That's why your products are really important. Creams, as we get older, I can't say that enough. Like, creams as you get older, they're meant to be like a second layer of skin. So let's do a quick education. If you're using a liquid concealer, liquid is meant to sit on the top layer of the skin. It has water in it, so it's gonna dehydrate throughout the day, which is why you get cracky. It's why you get separation. It's why you get texture. Creams are like a second layer of skin, so they're gonna absorb into the skin and they're gonna look really natural and skin-like. They also warm to the skin, so using your fingers like I did to blend out my under eyes, it's going to give you a more skin-like effect. They're very pigmented. They don't have any water in them, so they don't separate throughout the day, and they also just like kind of melt into the skin. So as you age, look for cream products. Cream products are so good. Yes, we're gonna be to Mexico very soon. I cannot wait. Make sure you're on my email opt-in list too, because you can just message me for that, but I will then send you an email as soon as we launch, and you can just grab your products, you can get color matched and be ready to go. So, all right, any other questions before I jump off? I don't wanna make this too long, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Friday. There'll be lots of more tips coming on my page. So just like I said, make sure you're following me. If you want a free color match, I can get you into a one compact makeup just like I use. We can make it customized for you. And when I post this, just comment match. And I appreciate you guys. I hope you have the best weekend and you're doing something fun. So, and hopefully you're warmer than me. Okay, all right, bye you guys. Thanks for hanging with me.